My brother visited us after he died. Somebody in Afterlife subreddit said that I should post my story here. I hope it finds the right audience. Last summer my brother overdosed. He was dead by the time I got to him in the morning. Paramedics were able to revive him when they arrived to the house. I put revive in quotation marks because while they were able to get his organs working through machines and devices, he was dead when I found him. I believe his spirit had left his body some time during the night when he passed. He was rushed to the hospital and placed on every machine imaginable in the ICU. After a full day there, we decided that we were going to pull the plug and let him go. That night, we all came home, grieved some more together and decided it was time for bed. My mom couldn't sleep so she went downstairs to watch TV. She felt some presence around her. She didn't know if she was just grieving or imagining things, but she was spooked. She kept looking off to her right into the dark dining room, eventually turning on a lamp to help comfort herself. She will always watch TV in the pitch dark at night when she is trying to sleep. Around this same time, I had gone up to bed with my girlfriend and I was saying verbatim, "I'm not saying I'm looking for a sign, but I'm kinda looking for a sign. Just something that I could have, something to let me know my brother was at peace." Before I decided I was going to bed, I said, "I don't care if it's one time and never again. I just want something." This is when my mom knocked on my door and told me I needed to come downstairs. I followed my mom downstairs and she walked out the front door to a woman I did not recognize, who was sobbing uncontrollably. I stopped on the porch because I was extremely hesitant about what was happening. Why is my mom hugging some stranger on our porch and crying? I didn't know what to make of it. Then my mom opened the door and said, "It's Michael." My first thought was, okay, my mom is losing it. Regardless, I knew I had to be there for her and hear her out. When I got outside my mom explained to me what had happened. She was sitting on the couch, spooked, and watching TV when she heard a knock on our window. When she walked to the door, it was neighbors from down the street we have never really met. A couple in their mid-30s who live a few houses down from my parents. Outside of waving hello in the morning, they were total strangers as far as I'm concerned, and they certainly didn't know who my brother was or that he passed at all. The woman was crying harder than anyone I've ever seen cry in my life. Her and her husband were coming from a friend's house and when they got home, she grabbed their outside railing and said, "No, I can't go in here, I have to go home and say I'm sorry." Her poor husband had no idea what she was saying but she insisted she could not go into their house until she walked down to mine. Reluctantly, her husband walked her down. It's important to note as well that she doesn't speak English. Her husband speaks it but not 100% fluently. So as she was hugging and kissing my mom, he was translating her words for us. "I'm sorry Mom, I'm sorry for being bad, I'm sorry for all the bad I did." Those were just some of the lines he was translating to us when his wife was clinging to my mom as if my mom raised her. Again, I have never seen someone cry like this. She was profusely sobbing and repeating the same things over and over again, all things a son would say to their mother after an untimely death. She let go of my mom for a moment and went to hug me. I remember being so skeptical at first but as soon as I felt her hug I understood it was my brother. I said out loud, "Michael, you are forgiven, you are so loved and you are so forgiven. We love you, Michael," thinking it would help him understand that we understood he was there. At this point she started crying even harder and her translation was, "I will always watch over you, brother." After her and I hugged it was like all of the life drained from her body. She collapsed as dead weight into her husband's arms, he lowered her gently to the ground and she stopped crying for a moment, closed her eyes and smiled really soft and big and said, "I love you," in English. Eventually we had to go get my dad and we went through more of the same thing. The only two things she said in English were, "I love you," and, "Is my dad okay?" My dad being the first one to have found him in the morning and the most cautious of the supernatural situation than all of us. But even he broke down when she hugged and kissed him. I remember him saying to us, "Is this real?" as they embraced. My dad is not much of a hippy-dippy guy. To this day, I still don't know how I convinced him to come downstairs, out of a deep sleep to experience something paranormal. After we assured the woman that my dad was okay, her husband was able to get her back into their house for the night. The next morning my mom and I walked down to their house to see if she was okay because she had gone through so much emotion and energy that we really wanted to make sure she was okay from it all. Her husband came out and talked to us for a while, saying she had to call out of work because she was so tired, something she never does. He said that sometimes she sees things in dreams or feels certain things, but it always pertains to her family or his. He said something like this has never happened to her or him. When she came out she was so quiet and reserved, it was such a stark contrast from the emotional power she had the night before. She said she didn't remember anything about it, but she was happy we got some sort of closure from the whole thing. Sorry this was so long. I want to explain it as well as I can to share this story. I grew up going to church and Catholic school, but around the time I was 9 or 10 my family stopped going to church and practicing faith as more negative press of the Catholic Church started coming out in the news. I continued going to Catholic school through high school, but we weren't considering ourselves as people who were deep-rooted in faith of anything. After this experience, I'm not exactly sure what's going on in this world, but this was all the proof I needed to know that you do not cease to exist after death. My brother was a troubled person like I said above, but he loved us so much. He couldn't possibly move on to the next phase of this existence without seeing my mom again. She was the only one not home when he passed. I hope this story helps anyone out there who is struggling with the thought of afterlife versus no afterlife. Or hopefully it just entertains you. Either way, thank you for reading. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. Like the video and hit the subscribe button for more Reddit stories.